Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. First of all, I just want to thank you so much for all your comments. Please keep them coming since it really encourages me to make more of these videos. I also want to help you guys learn as much as you can, so I've actually created a dedicated Facebook page where you can post your work or post any questions you might have for the community to answer. We're all on this XR journey together, so please like and subscribe and join our Facebook page so we can continue to make cool shit together. Anyway, here's your video. So far we've changed the position of entities and shapes, and we've even added animation to them. Today, we're gonna add a physics library that's gonna make the whole scene a lot more realistic. We can do this simply by adding a physics engine. I believe this is it. And the first thing I wanna point out is that Aframe physics system actually is built on top of Canon.js and Ammo.js, which are both physics engines. So, as usual, let's scroll down and actually copy this. The weird thing is, and I'm not sure why, if anyone knows, let me know. I tried copying this into my glitch instance, and for some reason it's not working the way that I expected. So what I did is I just went Aframe physics system on Google, and then I just went to the NPM version, because this is what I was actually expecting. So copy this in, create a new glitch instance. I've got all these libraries here that I've used in the last lessons, so I'm just gonna leave it in anyway. And here I've actually set it up already. First of all, you've got your scene tag, as you usually have. And in the scene tag, I've actually added the physics component. And this physics component came from this library. So remember to paste this in, otherwise this is not gonna work. I'm gonna set debug to true, and then you've got your camera and cursor as usual. So let's set the scene. All we're gonna do for now is set a plane. I'm gonna make the color of the plane gray, and then I'm gonna give it a rotation. And then I'm gonna give it some scale. So let's make it 15 meters. Okay, so now you've got your plane, and on the plane we are gonna simply put a box as we usually do. Let's make it red. Then I'm gonna give it a scale, give it a position, and I'm gonna start it off at 0, -1.5. Actually, I think I'll make it go a little bit further out. So I'm gonna make Z at -2. And I'm going to the scale maybe half, so this box just feels a little bit overwhelming right now. I want to actually make this box go a bit higher, 5 meters up in the air. But so far, nothing's happening. The box is just really high up in the air and we're not really seeing anything happen here. So if we look in the docs, we'll discover that in the physics systems, we have two different types of bodies. We've got a dynamic body and we've got a static body. The dynamic body tells the Aframe physics library that this object can move around. It's not stuck to the ground or for some reason just can't move. So then say if it was 5 meters up in the air, then by the laws of physics, it should fall down. A static body is pretty self-explanatory, like its name. It should just sit still and basically do nothing. Let's give it a go. Let's add these components in. So I'm gonna make the plane a static body. And then I'm gonna make the box a dynamic body. Hey, there we go. So suddenly, the box isn't defying the laws of physics, being stuck up 5 meters up in the air. It actually fell down, just as we would expect in real life. Now, bear with me with the next thing I tell you, because we are actually going to change the shape of this dynamic body. And what that means is that now it's going to behave like the dynamic body that we set it to. I'll show you what I mean. So when I go dynamic body, and initialize the shape component, the shape property, I mean, and I'm gonna make it a sphere. Oop, I can't spell. Okay. There we go. Suddenly there's a sphere. There's a sphere around the red box. Now it behaves a little bit more like a sphere. let's demonstrate this a bit. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna move this a little bit on the x-axis. It simulates exactly what it'd be like if you dropped two bouncing balls at the same time. Now I'm curious about what our static and dynamic bodies can do. Let's look at the documentation. These are the different properties. You've got the shade, you've got the mass. For example, if something has bigger mass, then it might fall faster. Linear damping, that describes the object's resistance to movement. So for example, you might have an object that's a lot harder to push along the floor than another. Angular damping, that's the resistance to rotation. And then you've got this radius and cylindrical axis, which to be honest, I've never really looked at before, so I can't explain it to you today. Anyway, now that we have a more solid understanding of what the physics library can do, let's do a quick little exercise. We want to create a button, and when you click on this button, then it will generate even more boxes and just have it full as you click. So let's give that a go. First of all, I want to create my own component. So I'm gonna make a script tag. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get rid of one of these boxes. So we don't need you. And then we're gonna create our button. So I'm gonna take away this dynamic body. And then I'm gonna move this box so it's a little bit closer to the floor. Let's make this 0.2. And then I want it further out. So let's make this 2 meters away. So it should be around there. Yep. And then let's make this -4. Yeah. Okay, so it's still in sight, but it's away from our little simulation. Okay, cool. Now we've got the button. We want to create a function so that when you click on the button, then it will generate more boxes. So I am gonna register a component. Then I'm gonna call it box generator. Okay. And then you've got your function, of course, and then we're gonna have an init. Okay, let's just format it first. That is very, very weird, but anyway. Gonna get access to the element that the component is in. Yep, so this is essentially getting the box. So instead of L, I'm gonna make it more clear and call it button. I wanna add an event listener to the button. And in that event listener, I want to create a click event with a callback function. That gets the scene itself. Document.query selector. Okay. Cool. So I've actually already added an ID to the scene. So when you're coding along with me, don't forget to add this ID. So first of all, let's make the box and then we'll attach it to the scene. So then I am going to create a new variable. Let new box equals document.create element. So if you've done normal HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, you'll notice that a lot of these things are really similar to creating a new div or whatever element that you want to create in your web page. So document.create element, and I want to create an A box. Okay, and now we are going to set the properties of this box. So new box. Actually, I don't want to make a new box. I want to make a new sphere. And I'm going to call the sphere generator. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a color. So I'm going to set the color attribute to yellow, because that used to be my favorite color as a child. And then I am going to give the box a scale. I'm going to make it 1/3 of a meter. All right. I think we're also gonna need a position because that's pretty important. We want the box to not show up in the same place. So then I think I'm gonna make a new variable called new x, because I just want it to vary in the x-axis. So I'm gonna go new x equals math.random. I'm gonna multiply it by the range that I want it to be in. I'm gonna set the attribute. Okay, so remember that when you want to add a new variable instead of a constant, you have to go backtick and then you go open bracket new x. I want it to show up at 2 minus 3. Okay, so that's 2 meters up in the air. Actually make it 5. And then, so why not? More acceleration, right? So no, we are not quite done yet. We need to bind it to the scene. So we can go scene dot append child new box. Okay, let's just format it to make sure that there's no mistakes. A semicolon there, so why not? Let's give it a go now. Yep, it does not work, so let's figure out what's wrong. We got an error here. Name of the attribute must be lowercase. So let's change that up. And let's reformat this so we can debug better. I'm gonna chuck that out. Formatting in prettier. Awesome. Still doesn't work, so let's check it line by line. Okay, that's fine. Scene equals document.query selector. Scene new box equals document.create element a sphere. Color yellow scale. I think this is it. Hey, there we go. So now it's generating spheres in the air. And there's one more thing that we need to add. We need to go new box dot set attribute, and we are gonna set the dynamic body with a shape sphere. So hopefully now, if we try our box generator, there we go. I'm just gonna keep clicking because why not? And I'm gonna stop right there because I'm just gonna take it way too far. But hopefully you've learned something today, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, just a quick update. I've been super busy pivoting my business to focus more on AR and VR. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming, so please hit subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated. Building the XR community on this channel really means a lot to me and brings me a lot of joy. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.